Welcome to the Calallen Softball Coaches Show. I'm your host, Chris Daly, and each week I will be talking with head coach Teresa Lentz from the Calallen Wildcats softball team. We will jump in right after these messages. We definitely want to thank our title sponsor, Shocker Wildlife Resources. Yes, Anthony Trevino at Shocker Wildlife, they do it all. Ranch and wildlife management. They do helicopter surveys, harvest data management, wildlife management plans, water distribution, prescribed burns, consulting, feeding programs. If you have a ranch, you need Shocker Wildlife Resources as your consultant. You can reach them by reaching out to Anthony Trevino, 361-850-0609. Yes, call Anthony Trevino at 361-850-0609. If you have a ranch, you definitely need to know Anthony. Caliber Collision understands how much you depend on your vehicle. Let their repair experts help you get back to what's most important. Caliber Collision and Caliber Auto Glass specialize in happy customers, expert repairs, and most importantly, restoring the rhythm of your life. That's Caliber Collision. You can find them at caliber.com. All right, everybody join me in welcoming Coach Teresa Lentz to the Calallen Softball Coaches Show. Coach, man, things are going well right now.
Hey, Chris, thank you for having me. And, we're excited on how our team's doing, and we're about to finish off the first half here of district and proud of the girls on how they approached last week and trying to do it this week against TM.
Yeah, definitely. Let's talk about last week. We got, it's kind of freaky to say the worst performance was a 14-0 win. but talk to me about Zapata 17-0 and Robstown 14-0.
Okay, so we'll start with Zapata. We have how can I explain this? We kind of started off pretty good there at Zapata, and we got 5 runs in the first inning. Yeah. And I honestly can't exactly remember how we did it, but we did it. And we thought for sure, we'd get things going and maybe, be done with this game early, I guess, so to say. But, it really wasn't the case. Zapata kind of held us there the next couple of innings. And at one point it was 5-1 in the third. And we would have thought, I think the girls kind of felt maybe they should be doing better. And, we're in Zapata and, got a little home cooking here and there with some calls. A little frustrating for the girls, and they need to learn how to handle that pressure. Well, not necessarily pressure, but adversity. And they were struggling a little bit with that. And so it took them a while to get through it and move past it. But, and some of them were, popping up and rolling over and things like that. And they were just allowing it to get the best of them and kind of taking it with them, really not being able to move on, and just kind of having these weird expectations of what they should do. And like I said, the umpires, weren't necessarily calling the pitches like they thought they should. And so, and we talked about it with them after the game, but, they did come back in the 5th inning and scored 11 runs in one inning, which was, but it was, it was amazing. I think we had, for the game, 4 home runs. So It was Brooklyn Metter, Audrina Almaraz, Kaden Trevino, and Kiana Vargas. I mean, it was fun like that. It was fun like that. And girls, some of them who maybe struggled at the beginning of the game or had a bat or two that they did not like, came back and redeemed themselves, and I think kind of finished on a better note. But, trying to get the girls to understand that we can't allow ourselves mentally to go there and to have our emotions, take over our mind like that, and really kind of bring the team down in a place that, we can't get out of, because with a better team, I'm going to say Zapata's terrible or anything, but with a team or a game that's closer, we're definitely not going to be able to have that luxury, necessarily to probably come back from those things. We're working on that as a team, and I would say it was an emotional game. We had to travel 2.5 hours or so, 2 hours and 45 minutes to get there, and so that's not easy. But I'm proud of the girls on how they finished and how they came back together and scored so many runs in one inning.
Yeah.
And then hats off to Jordan. She had 13 strikeouts, and she was, she did great. She had one hit against her. They really didn't have an answer to her, so she pitched amazing.
Yeah, definitely. And then it looks like there was just business as usual going to Robstown. Yeah. Oh man, I tell you, 14-0.
In Robstown, kind of similar situation. We did what we needed to do every inning. Getting on base, driving some runners in, putting pressure on them, putting the ball in play, and the girls. The field's really big at Robstown, so you hit one out there, you're really having to hit it hard. And I think Kaylee Lopez had a home run, and Brooklyn Metter had a home run. Just hit some missiles out into their outfield, and it's just like there's no stopping it. And the wind was blowing like a crosswind, so it was really interesting. It was a tough wind to play defensively if the ball was hitting the air, but if you hit it right, you could possibly get it to go pretty far. And the girls were hitting the ball super hard. BB was 2 for 3, 2 RBIs. Candace, who is from, I will say she came in late in the game, but she got 2-run RBI with 1 hit, which was pretty awesome. And then we had Aldrina, who was 2 for 4 with 3 RBI. So kind of doing what we needed to do. And I think Brooklyn was, she was 2 for 2, but 4 runs. She was 4 of the runs that we needed, or that we had. Just really, getting on however she can. And I know they weren't trying to pitch to her after she hit a home run, so they, just the girls were playing smart. It was fun. They had a good energy about them. They were doing everything they needed to do. It was a fun game. It was a lot of fun, doing better with our approach at the plate and on the field, everybody talking and communicating. Jordan pitched a heck of a game again. She had 6 strikeouts, only 1 hit, and 1 walk, and very, and they're not an easy. They have 2 girls committed to go play different places, Division I schools, if I'm not mistaken, and they're not that bad of a team, but the girls are, when they get locked in, they're locked in, and they just took care of business. So it was really, really nice to see.
Love it. And before we talk about the upcoming games, talk about the walk for Colton and how that went, what it is, and we promoted it on the show a little bit, but talk about how that went.
Yes, this Saturday there was a walk for Colton. We had, I believe it was around 9:30, so we had practice in the morning, just weights real quick, and then conditioning. And we were fortunate enough to be able to, go support Colton's walk, which is a awareness, a walk for suicide awareness.
Right. And
Colton was a former alumni here at Calallen, played baseball here, and he unfortunately took his life to suicide. And just trying to raise awareness for, kind of that silent killer people don't want to talk about. And I think it's super important, especially, as myself, as a coach, sometimes get caught up in the day-to-day X's and O's, I guess, of practice and things, and not necessarily checking on how our girls are doing or kids are doing in school. And, just kind of helps us all reflect on making sure we're being able to have that open line of communication, whether it's with myself or teammates among teammates or parents with their children. None of the talks that we have are going to be easy, and life is not going to be easy. And just trying to allow our students to understand that suicide is not the answer. Nothing in this world is worth, taking your life, and that somebody loves you and people love you and people are here to help. And it's not an easy thing to talk about. And but ever since Randy Page and his wife Karen have been doing this, we've tried to be a part of it. And so I'm hoping that continue to have this and spread that awareness and just that understanding of what happens and what's going on, and trying to be more open-minded to people when they're struggling with something.
Definitely. Good organization. And normally after a team's coming off 4 straight double-digit victories, the question I would have is, how do you keep their head out of the clouds and keep them focused? But I don't think that'll be a problem, because you're going up against Coloso Midway, who's undefeated in district right now, and a rival, right? Exactly.
So there's no motivational talks for this week. I don't need to motivate to tell them. I do need to tell them to, try to really control their emotions.
Yeah.
And when things don't go their way, kind of remind them of those aspects. But, this is not one of those games where I have to tell them to do anything or to be, get up for a game. This game will be enough. So they've played with some of these girls on the other team, but more importantly, they want to prove to them how much they are better, basically. And that's the fun part about this rivalry is, it doesn't really matter what your records are. The rivalry is going to bring out enough pressure in itself, and it makes it for a real fun game. And it almost always brings out the best in both teams. So it's exciting, and I'm excited to see how our girls will handle that kind of excitement and pressure. And there should be a lot of people at the game, and it'll be a lot of fun. And that's good practice for playoffs.
Definitely. And what do you expect out of this year's TM squad?
They got a freshman pitcher that's new. They have a young lady who was out last year during district for an injury, a season-ending injury, so she's going to be back. They have a girl at shortstop who's going to go play UTSA with Brooklyn Metter. And so just a lot of talent, a lot of girls that have been playing the game a long time. They all play travel ball, and they're a well-coached team. So, nothing or anything we can take for granted, or by all means. It's going to be a grind, and, just hopefully we do everything we need to do to take care of it and hopefully come out with the W.
Definitely. And then another game you'll have before we speak next is against King. You started district against them with a 15-0 win. The saying is it's hard to beat a team twice, but it's also hard to get up for, especially if you come away with the Coloso Midway win, after this winning streak, then going back to King, that's one it seems like you might need to get the girls up for.
Yeah, we try our best to motivate the girls, however it might be. I don't want to throw all my tricks out there, but there's different things that we can do or try to do to get them to be motivated. So whatever we need to do, we will do. Maybe it's milkshakes after a game, maybe it's light practice the next day. They'll have the day off, but they have to earn it. They have to really earn it, and that not just with a win, not just like a blowout. It has to be mental, physical, their energy, their positivity. It has to be, they're bringing their A+ game, and if they're doing those things, then we'll definitely be proud. But this is a long season, and this is usually the time of the season where it's kind of a grind because it's the longest part, and it's I can't explain it, but it's hard. It's hard, and it makes for a real long season right about now. And it's not playoffs. Playoffs are fun. District can be a little bit of a grind sometimes. So it's I'll be honest, the girls are handling it really well, and they're making it a lot of fun these past couple games. And we just need to finish this first half of the district the way we want to and the way we need to, and try to just start on the second half.
Definitely. Love that. And finally, what about the girls themselves? How are they doing health-wise, grade-wise, everything outside of swinging and throwing a ball?
Well, I will say Bianca Gonzalez kind of bruised her landing foot from pitching. And so she's been out since Zapata, and she's going to be out till I believe she might be released this Thursday. But, she hasn't in a little bit, and so basically 2 weeks. So we're, going to try to get her back into the swing of things and try to get her ready for the next half of district. But, just trying to help her get to where she needs to be, because we definitely are going to need her, and we need her to be healthy.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. Well, again, congratulations on the last couple of great wins, and best of luck this week, especially against that TM squad. Hopefully we're talking a still undefeated district record when we talk.
Yes, sir. Hopefully we will be. I appreciate it.
We also need to thank Downtime Services. Downtime Services offers specialized on-site field machining services that maximize your uptime without sacrificing quality. Their team of expert field machining services technicians will come to you and repair and modify your equipment on-site and on demand. Downtime Services, whatever you need, whenever you need. Find Downtime Services online at downtimeservices.com or call them at 800-900-1256. Hey, once again, I want to thank you for tuning in and listening to the Calallen Softball Coaches Show. Please share, subscribe, get the story out about this amazing program, these amazing girls, and don't forget to go out, fill the stands, and support your Calallen Wildcats. Hey coaches, did you know we're now offering shows for all sports? That's right, whether it's basketball, volleyball, softball, baseball, football, soccer, you name it, we've got you covered. If you're looking for a way to showcase your program, promote your players, and highlight the amazing things happening with your team, our coaches shows are the perfect solution. Plus, our business model lets you or your booster club raise money while building excitement and support for your program. Don't miss the opportunity to take your team's story to the next level. Find out how you can get your very own coaches show. Reach out to Chris at 713-269-4620 today. That's 713-269-4620, because every team deserves the spotlight.